Before we start, I want to say this. If you're a beauty professional or service-based business owner who's doing all the right things, but still feels like your income depends on how much you physically show up and how many hours you can squeeze into your schedule, I built my new program for you. Limitless is for the woman who wants to earn more without adding more hours, who needs clearer strategy and the energy and identity shifts that actually move the needle in your business. It is a space where you're not doing this alone and where you can ask me questions anytime. I work super closely with you inside this container alongside a like-minded community of business owners who are serious about their growth as well, but also about life. So if you're ready to grow and want support doing it properly, book a call with me. The link is in the show notes for you. Now let's get into today's episode. Welcome to the Beauty Build podcast with me, Zara King. As a coach for beauty pros, it is my mission to help you earn more, work less, and create an unstoppable mindset. This is the show where we explore all of that. So whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting your beauty business, this podcast is for you. So sit back, relax, and join us on the journey. And for more, get yourself inside my private community, The Beauty Build on Facebook. Hello, you gorgeous human you, and welcome back to another episode. I am Zara King, and I know there's an intro, but I do like to say hi, as you know, because I've said this on a couple of episodes now. Hi and welcome, and I am so thankful and grateful for you being here. I love that we spend so much time together. I really bloody do. Thank you. So today's episode, I really want to talk to you about hard work and why it isn't working harder that you actually need, because so many people think to earn more you've got to work harder. It's like a massive common limiting belief that is inside of many of us. I come from a normal working class background, council estate. Okay, my parents used to say you got to work hard to earn more money, and it is one of those ones that was always ingrained in me, and it's one of those ones that I know is ingrained in a hell of a lot of women. Okay, it just is what it is. Unfortunately, we don't love it, but we have to take our, deeply rooted limiting beliefs and we have to work with them. We have to work through them, and this is one of them. So that's the kind of topic that I want to discuss today, because let's be honest, we can all work hard. If you're in my world, you probably already work hard because you're already into personal development. You already know that you've got to, learn to grow. You're probably already doing a hell of a lot of working hard with your clients in your business. You're not lazy. You're not this kind of inconsistent person that stops. You're definitely committed if you're in my world. And if you're listening to this on a weekly basis, if you are a regular listener, then I know for a fact you are committed to a certain degree to doing the work. But let's be honest, if hard work was the answer, you would already have everything that you want. I certainly would, because I have worked hard all my life. And when I say all my life, I mean I literally had a paper round at about the age of 12. 12? That sounds a funny word when you say it like that. I used to go to work with my mum and dad in the holidays when I was like 8, something ridiculous. Anything for a little bit of extra cash. I worked in a hairdresser's when I was 13. Okay? I wanted money. I've had that in me since the day I was born. And so, I've worked hard forever. And I used to have, even now, I still do clients. I've always had more than one thing on the go. If you've listened to episode 1, you'll know. I've always had more than one thing on the go because I have this work ethic and I've been busy, right? I've been busy getting to work. I've done hard work. Now, the thing is about that, again, like I say, if that was all that mattered, if my work ethic was all that mattered, if making myself busy was all that mattered, then I would have everything I want. But we're not quite there yet. We're still going. We're still working because A, I love what I do, so that's always going to be there. But B, every time I get to a new level, it's not the hard work. Okay, so that's really what I want to talk to you about today, is why hard work isn't the missing thing and what actually really is for you. Okay, because in this industry as well, I know that you are working hard, you are seeing clients, you are sometimes not even having a break. You know, we all know the running joke about the fact that we all have like, you know, crappy little lunches, or we don't eat at all, or we're running on coffee in this industry. So we know that we do long days. We know that we have no breaks. We know that people do a lot of the time think that being back to back is a good thing. And I don't think it is. First and foremost, I don't think it is, but that's not what this podcast episode is about. It's not just about that. It's about, I mean, let's be honest, you know that my two keywords are profit and freedom. Okay, we want profit and we want freedom in our businesses. There is no point in building a business that makes your life feel less and less. What's the point in having the business getting bigger and bigger and better and better if the life doesn't feel so much? So being profitable is way better in my eyes than being back to back and busy with clients, okay? But the point of this episode is that my business and all of my life experiences, all of my businesses, if you like, have grown when I've grown as a person. So when, to be honest, if you've been in my world, you know that I've said your business will only grow as much as you do as a person. You're never going to outgrow your own identity in your business, okay? Your business is never going to all of a sudden be huge if you haven't done the personal development work on yourself. So that's the sort of topic of today's episode. That is more so what I want to talk to you about today. So what is really missing when you think about it, when you look at it in terms of how you grow this business, you know, meaning how you grow as a person to grow this business, the things that are really missing are these things, okay? Who you are being. Now, when I talk about who you are being, I mean like when no one is watching, okay? So who are you right now? I want you to actually stop and think about this while you listen to this. How do you wake up in the mornings? Do you wake up to straight away go on your phone and straight away scroll social media and straight away give yourself anxiety? And then do you slump on the sofa after you've eaten your breakfast? Do you put on the television? Do you know? Or do you wake up in the morning to an alarm clock, not your phone? Do you get straight outdoors into the sunlight? Do you go to the gym? Do you move your body? Do you have something super healthy for breakfast? Or do you have something that you know isn't going to serve you throughout the day? Do you get up late or early? Do you have time on your hands to feel free? Who are you being when nobody's watching? That's just the morning. What does your routine look like? When do you sit down to do your admin? When do you sit down to do your marketing? And when you're driving, who are you being? Are you like road ragey? Are you calm? Do you have conversations with yourself about, you know, the business, the development, happy things? Is it positive internal dialogue? Is it not so positive internal dialogue? Are we always getting really crazy intrusive thoughts? Again, like, this is normal, by the way. I don't say this to completely like judge you and tell you that you're doing things wrong, but I'm telling you and I'm bringing your awareness to it because it might be unhelpful. It might be that, you know, I have a client, for example, who I talk to every day, and as soon as she says something that's unhelpful, I'm like, is that serving you? No, it's not. No, it is not. And you don't have the privilege all the time of having somebody do that. But it can really derail you when you're not being who you want to be. And it isn't your fault, because our brains are wired in a certain way to keep our thought processes quite similar all the time, because it's easier to do what feels natural and what feels normal and recurring and, you know, repetitive. But the issue with repetitive thinking that's negative is it goes into the subconscious, and it's the subconscious that runs the business pretty much. It's the subconscious that brings us about our reality. So what you really want to work on doing, and what's really missing, is being the person who's ready to grow into the version of you who holds the next level of your business. And by holds it, what I mean is doesn't crumble under the pressure of the next level of your business. You know, sees that income as just energy, sees this expansion as easy or easeful or simple, not hard. who doesn't stress, who stays calm. And I'm assuming that's what you want. You want a business that feels good and positive and easeful and simple. That's what has to happen. You have to be the person. And I can hand on heart tell you that every time I've worked on myself as a person and who I'm being, i.e. my internal dialogue, how I address that, how I move through it, how I actually show up, the habits that I have in place. Do I keep my word to myself? Are you that type of person? All of these things are involved in who we are being, the awareness levels, the way we change through things, the way we work on our mindsets, the way we actually develop our identity so that we're being somebody who's ready. Every time I've done that, my business has grown. So have a little play with that. You know that is missing, okay? Because otherwise you'd be there already. So have a little play around with that. What does it look like? What do you see? And make some changes. The second thing is your positioning of your business, okay? This is probably the missing piece as well. This is probably missing. It's not hard work, but it's actually refining. It's clarity. It's how does the market see you? How do you portraying yourself on socials, on your website, on Google, on wherever you show up, on your, prime marketing spaces, in your language? How are people seeing you and feeling you? What is the brand message? The positioning is what anchors your vision, your business, and it will ultimately be how people feel when you are, when they see you, feel you, see your business, see you. That is what this positioning piece is, okay? It's how we solidify all of that. It's giving you the confidence to claim a space in the market and stand for something. This is your positioning. That is so important. And it means, once this is refined, I'm actually looking at my hand as if I'm holding it. It's making me laugh. Once this is refined, once we have the clarity around this piece of the puzzle, let me tell you, you will feel like it's criminal that you're not working that hard to convert people into your business, whether it be students, whether it be clients, whether it be, whatever it is. Once this is tweaked and refined and you have clarity and it works and it marries up with who you're being, oh my goodness, the shift. Oh my goodness, the way things land and the way things convert. Okay? That's missing. If you're not where you want to be, I can almost guarantee that there is a positioning issue, and that's why you're not the number one go-to for your absolute dream client, because there's work to do on the positioning. And this is what we do. This is what we do together. We go through the positioning of the menu, the pricing, the offers, the dream client, the mission, what you stand for, the brand. We go through all of that together. So of course that sounds a little bit like strategy, but a lot of that is also who you're being. They marry up. And the third thing that's missing, other than your hard work, and this sounds like work, but actually there's a difference. So this is where you're placing your effort, okay? So there's a difference between working hard and doing the things that actually move the needle, right? So many people I come across that I talk to can say to me, Zara, I'm doing all the things to grow my business. And actually the effort is great. The effort is perfect, like level 10 effort, but in the wrong places. You're stressing yourself out over the things that don't matter. You're making things harder for yourself. You're worried about putting out a piece of content every day, but the pieces of content are shit because your effort's not in the actual right place, i.e. might be the positioning. It might be that then once the positioning is okay, the effort then that goes into the content could be less. It could be that you don't burn yourself out. You only post 4 or 5 times a week rather than trying to show up all 7 days of the week, but you feel so much more aligned to it and it works better for you because the effort is in the right place, right? Or it might be like inside Limitless, I focus my ladies on daily 5 tasks. We do CEO tasks. There's 5 of them that we have to do every single day. Now, if you're doing those 5 things, the needle moves in your business regardless. Okay, the needle bloody moves straight away. I've had clients that tell me I've only been doing it this week and oh my gosh, they work. I'm like, yeah, I know they do. Of course they do. These are the needle movers and these are what you need to know in your business. So really analyze the data, what actually works for you and what doesn't, and stop putting your energy and your effort and your hard work into the wrong places. If you know that doing a certain thing brings you more clientele, do that more. Stop stressing about the things that aren't actually bringing you any profit or revenue. Put your teeth in, Zara, I say this all the time. the same thing applies to your actual business model and your menu. Are you focusing on treatments that don't bring you a profit? That bugs the life out of me when I have people on a call and they're like, oh yeah, I really want to build the business around this, but I'm like, what the hell is the but? Well, this is how much I'm charging. And I'm like, right, you ready for a price increase? Oh no, I don't really want to increase because of X, Y, and Z. What? Why are we building a business on this? Why are we pretending that this is going to work? It's insane to me that anyone would build a business based on a product or a service that they don't see making more profit or a decent profit in the first instance. Insane to me. So looking at your business, figure out where is your effort best placed. Okay? And the last thing, you guessed it, getting support. Okay? But I don't just mean getting support from somebody like me who's been there and done what you're looking to do, i.e. grow your clientele business or go into a little bit more semi-passive or leverage the shit out of your space and all the rest of it. I'm not talking about working with somebody like me as such, like mentoring. I'm also talking about getting support where you need it the most, analysing your life, your daily habits. What do you need help with? Do you need to do a HelloFresh order because you're eating so much processed crap food because you've got no time to cook, right? But you know that's detrimental to your health, which is detrimental to who you're being, which is detrimental to your business. Why would you do that? So maybe it's that you need to show up as the next level version of yourself who does get HelloFresh. Maybe that's the case. Maybe it's not. Maybe the next version of you makes the time and carves it out and prioritizes healthy meals, whole foods, loads of water, whole foods, happy days. I highly recommend it. So good for you. Maybe it's that you need support in the fact that you need somebody to look after the kids once a week. Maybe you need to ask your partner for more help. Maybe you're a single mum but you need a cleaner. Maybe you are someone that needs to ask a family member for support. Okay? You don't get support without putting it out there and telling people you need it. So any which way around you need support, or maybe you need to delegate in your business. Maybe you are up to your eyeballs with clients earning a really great wage, but you feel freaking stuck because you've got no time on your hands. I was talking to a salon owner the other day, actually. She's in this position. She feels like she's babysitting all of her staff members, right? She feels like she's completely tied to the business, can't get away. Maybe you need to delegate something a little bit better. Maybe you need to go back to doing what you love. Maybe you need to look at where your effort is best placed. Delegation, support, systems. Maybe it's even automation, okay? Or maybe it is asking me to join me in my space, in my world, whatever that looks like, even if it's just a strategy sprint day that you want, right? Like a one-on-one with me all day. Maybe it's something like that. I don't know, but I can bet you that those are the things that are missing. I'll just recap. So the first thing that's missing is who you are being, right? Who are you being when nobody is watching? Because that's what's running the show. The subconscious is running the show. 2, how is the market seeing you? What is your positioning like? Okay, that's the missing piece. Number 3, where your effort is actually being placed. Because I just guarantee that it's not in the right places. And 4th, getting the support. Okay, this is why my clients will come into a space with me and within 3 months they will double their income. This is why they will decide to work less and drop a day, but they don't get scared about it. Why? Because they're being the person that's ready for that. Okay, this is why they come into the space after only have been in the industry for not even a year and create a membership. This is why that I will teach somebody to go into coaching because they're ready for that. This is why they get all of this semi-passive result because they're ready for that. Like, we work on this stuff together. Okay. They also have somebody that is actually emotionally detached from their business. I just want to touch on this. You are really close to your business and you probably can't see. Like, I've just listed off 3 or 4 things there that I know are probably missing in your business because I know damn well it's not your hard work. You want this, it's your passion, it's your baby, you started it for a reason, you work damn hard at it, you stretch too thin probably, and I know that. But you are so attached to this business. Rightly so, emotionally as well. You are so emotionally invested, you're so financially invested, you are so attached to it and you cannot detach from certain outcomes. And it is hard. It's not easy to just let go of that emotional detachment. It's actually easier for us to hold on to it. Our brains and our bodies hold on to this negative stuff, right? It holds on to this emotional attachment. But my clients, for example, they have somebody that is way, way, way away from it. I'm not emotionally attached to it in the freaking slightest. I can see it from a bird's eye view and I can go, well, there's that gap and there's that gap and this is what you can do to close it. And whether or not that feels comfortable to them or not, we work on why it does or it doesn't, and then we work on doing it. Okay? There's so much value in that, in being able to take a step back and have a look and zoom out and actually have an idea of what's going on from a bird's eye view. Have an idea of how you can actually emotionally detach, even if you don't have somebody like me that can do that for you and that can see things you can't see yet. You would really benefit from just stepping back and saying, okay, I've noticed this. I know that I need to be different. That's the first step. Okay, cool. What would it look like? Really ask yourself, what can I see that is different when I'm trying to be the next level version of me? If I envisage what that looks like, what does it look like? Who am I being? How am I being? And what is actually different to now? What's the gap looking like? What is actually quite different from how I'm showing up now to how I'm showing up when everything is working in my favor, when I'm at that next level, when business is thriving, when it's where I want it to be? What is the difference and what does it look like? What looks different in my positioning? When I'm at the level that I really, really, really want, what looks different in my positioning? What feels different? What looks different? What are people saying about me when I'm not in the room? And where is my effort placed? You may need support with that. You may not. You may be able to look at it from a zoomed out lens and go for it. That would be my first starting point, to be fair. And then, what does my life look like? Where do I need support in life and business? Might even be that you just need a VA. I don't know. Might just be that you need to clean, like I said. But what is the biggest difference? Zoom out, write it down, have a think. Ask yourself seriously, what do I see that is different when I'm at that level in all of those areas? And guess what? You could quite easily start implementing some of it now. You could pick small things. I remember when I worked with a coach in 2020 and she said something about midday baths and I took that and I was like, I'm going to do that. I see myself doing that because I love a spa day. I love at home pampering as well. And I thought, actually, do you know what? Super version of me does have time for a midday bath. I'm going to do it. And I did it. And do you know what? The feeling that it creates is a contagious feeling of stepping into that level and doing little things and implementing tiny, tiny, tiny little steps of the person that you're becoming. And it seriously moves the needle in your business. Alongside, obviously, if you were doing the daily 5 that I teach inside Limitless. So if you do want to get involved with that, you know where the description is. You know that the link is all there for you to book a call with me. But hopefully this episode has given you enough to go on to make some moves, to see this from a bird's eye view, and to seriously decide that rather than working harder, you are going to work smarter and look at those areas. I will leave it here. Hope you've enjoyed. Please take a screenshot, pop it on your story if you have, and tag me, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed today's episode and gained valuable insights that will help you in your beauty business and life. If you did, please take a screenshot and tag me in your stories. If you've got any questions or comments, please feel free to reach out to me on any of my socials. The links are always in the descriptions. And don't forget to subscribe to the podcast and leave us a review. Your feedback helps us improve and bring you more and more great content. Until next time, keep building that business.